Everybody, I'm Abigail Joe, and I'll be you guys. The what if I was in the Hazbin Hotel? Now, I know you guys actually, in the community check, I asked you guys which what if you guys want for myself to be included in which series. Some of you guys actually wondered, or just one person wondered, what is SPD? Which SPD is practically SPD Power Rangers like Space Patrol Delta. If you have not watched Power Rangers, I recommend you watch it so you can understand better. So you can understand practically a Power Ranger universe. I have watched it multiple times, so I'm practically really familiar with it. Now I do want it to be the first one to make whatever myself to be in there, but maybe I'll do it later after I'm finished with whenever I was in Hazbin Hotel. So yeah. So listen to the video. It'll be a dark night as I'll be walking around, seeing as I was finally able to practically have my mother be cured. Also, you guys are wondering what's the backstory. Maybe you should check in the community check because I did mention the backstory of this version of myself, which you should all know. So yeah, if you guys not read it, then you should probably stop the video. I'm giving you 10 seconds to stop the video, read the comment, and then go back. 10 seconds, guys. 3, 2, 1, begin. And 10 seconds were up. So yeah. You a dark night as I'll be walking around, seemingly as I was finally able to kill my mother, and eventually have a peaceful time. I will start to visit her, but before I could visit her, I'll be stabbed in the chest. I'll be confused with who stabbed me as I see a person in clothing which I could not recognize. My video starts to blur before I can actually let the person leave. I will shot him in the back as you fall dead. As I say, if I'm dying, I'm taking you with me. As I fall to the ground dying, and eventually I ended up between the gates of hell and heaven. I was confused on what I was doing between them. I've been good almost my entire life. I shouldn't be in hell, should I? But eventually, as I tried to reach the door of heaven, immediately something would start to suck me into hell. I was confused with what was happening as I get sucked in and eventually fall to the ground. Of course, I'll stand up as I look at my hands, not being the same hands as I remember them. They're dark purplish, as eventually when I look in the mirror beside a shawl between hell, I didn't realize this is not my original look. What happened to me? I'll ponder that and eventually I'll realize, of course, people will change if they're in hell, so their physical appearance will change on something that they either hate or like a lot. So yeah, I guess this applies to hell and heaven as well, huh? I think to myself. I do actually really like the original Nihama character like Kurogiri, which was one of my favorite characters and one of my best designs I really liked. But I mean, I should stick to this. I mean, my name is indeed Kuro, so maybe I should stick to it, since it's a much more better name. I eventually will decide to look around, and eventually search through multiple other hotels, and eventually see many other things. This was actually kind of similar to Earth, is that vandalism is actually really normal for this place. Even really, really normal. Like, someone can practically rob anyone like he wants to. It's like there's no law in this world. They said that if you try to kill someone, then they'll be reincarnated, which of course I was able to figure out some time. I'm hearing so many people talking about it. Eventually, of course, I'll meet with B, which, if you guys were not wondering, she's a really famous pop star, but I'm actually in a time between her actually not being a pop star. She probably will be the first time of her being in hell, which will also be mine as well, so practically both those will be at the same age. Which, of course, I will slightly blush as a dark purple blush will appear on my cheeks, with her asking if I know around the place. With me nodding as I was really silent, as I was actually kind of nervous not talking to girls in a long time. Which of course I'll show her around, and she will thank me, and then she will head off her own way. I also do the same as I'll ponder to myself. In hell, this will be really tough. I really hope that she'll be doing well. I sigh as I ponder a lot about B, but eventually before I can ponder a lot more, a guy will try to attack me, but I'll able to easily handle him off with my flames. I'm mostly able to fully adapt to my new body in a quick time because of my training. So I'm most likely able to adapt fully, and eventually I'll fire off the person, flaming him as he dies, in screaming. Of course, I will practically steal his money. Practically stealing is a normal thing in hell, so why not do that? I'll practically steal some money. I'll not steal any credit cards since they're not needed, so I'll just steal some money and just go around. I would of course look at some bars, and eventually practically even go to bartenders. Of course, some of the bartenders will practically act rude to me, but eventually I'll meet one bartender named Husk, which has actually taken an interest into me and asking me if I want to become a bartender, with me actually not disagreeing with Husker, and asking him if I can join his bar. With Husker, of course, nodding to me and asked me to be his right hand man. With me nodding, is eventually I worked with Husker, working as a right hand man of the bartender, and eventually selling some drinks and some beers as well. I'll practically sell some drinks and eventually I'll get up a lot of money. Husker will eventually tell me that it's time for me to make my own business and my own bar, which I'll do agree, and eventually we'll part our ways. But I do keep his name in my phone just in case if I need to call him or anything, if he wants to call me as well. Eventually I'll head off and start to prepare my own bar. Eventually, of course, I'm able to buy some drinks and eventually just on myself. Of course, I'll practically sell some drinks, having some bars to be at my bar as well. I'll get a lot of money and eventually I'll continue to train myself. I'll just train to control my flames so I can control them to be a lot better. But eventually, after a full year would have passed, I eventually would have heard about the Extermination Day, which only happens once in a year when all the angels practically seeing the population of hell, deciding to drop it down, practically almost kill everybody in hell to make the population be much more lower. Since practically of Lucifer doing a rebellion, which I do remember from the old books of legends, how Lucifer practically used hell's power to practically to overthrow God. So I decided to prepare myself if I need to face up against angels. I also would have heard the titles of overlords, who are practically way higher than any regular demons or people in this, which are practically kind of the higher bosses, but they're not higher than the devil himself, Lucifer. I also to become an overlord myself, and eventually I'll continue to train and increase my power. Eventually I'll decide to practically take my own territories and eventually still act as a normal bartender, since I didn't want to reveal myself fully. So I'll practically have my own body be covered in dark flames and my eyes glowing incredibly piercing yellow. I'll eventually be able to conquer a lot of territory, and eventually I'll be one of the known demon overlords, as I'll actually be granted the overlord title of the Shadow Flame, the overlord of the Shadow Flames. Kuro. So yeah, of course, eventually I'll be met by one of the overlords, being one of the toppest ones being Alistair himself. Of course, Alistair will try to strike a deal with me, but me knowing the radio demon very well due to many myths, and of course researching his background, I'm able to tell that he's trying to trick me, but I'll not be easily fooled. My power is almost comparable to that of Alistair. Because I've been in hell for almost 10 years, I'm much more experienced than any other soul in hell. So I know when to keep my guard up, even in front of the most powerful demon in here. Of course, Alistair will realize that his tricks will not work on me, and he just sighs and asks me if he can get a drink, with me nodding as I give him a drink, but still being silent as I look at him. Of course, Alistair asks me what I call treatment, with me just slightly grinning with Alistair with my golden eyes, saying to not act innocent. I know what he has done over the years, and I know how a cruel person he is, so you shouldn't act nice against me. As my flames will get hotter, as Alistair of course can feel the intense flames that are surrounding my body. Seemingly as he can tell that I'm no pushover, even if I'm a new demon lord. I could easily handle him off, even if not even almost give him a pretty good fight if I wanted to. With Alistair just sighing and asking me if I wanted to join the council of demon overlords. I then look slightly at Alistair, being suspicious of if I should answer or not, but I decided to just give him a slight nod. With Alistair smiling a little bit and telling me to not be late as he disappears. He also leaves a tip as I take it and eventually put it in the cast. And of course, some of my subordinates or people I pay so they can work at my bar when I'm not around ask me if I need anything. I tell them that it's nothing and I should leave now. Eventually, of course, I also get a note from Alistair telling me to meet at the castle of the overlords at 9 p.m. Which I of course do with the other overlords. Of course, the other overlords know I'm the new overlord of hell, and practically the newest one. So yeah, of course, most of them will be kind of skeptical about me being new overlord, and some of them will trying to mock me, but I'll just grab one of the unknown overlords and instantly burn him, killing him instantly, as most of the overlords will instantly shut up, thinking that I'm incredibly powerful. Of course, Alistair will just laugh and ask me if I should have pulled that big of a show, with me just slightly glaring at Alistair as he then decides to not say anything more. And with most of the other overlords actually being surprised I was able to shut off Alistair. There's no other overlord besides the first overlord that practically took the title of Alistair was able to shut him up like that. So yeah. Eventually, after the awards meeting, I was actually just going my own way. But of course, Valentine was trying to really seduce me. But me not being that type of guy, we see pushing and setting a fire. Tell me to not get into his dirty things. If he thinks that he's gonna pull me off, I'm not gay, nor do I even care about his lustful things. So he better be prepared because if he tries to threaten me or tries to seduce me again, I'll take his territory and kill him myself. I say that with a straight tone, being cold as ever, as until the nods really fast, being really scared of my power. Eventually I will leave as I will decide to continue my training, knowing that I must be prepared for extermination day, which I know will be in 2 months. I just hope that B will be alright as a thing to myself. Eventually, after a couple of months would have passed, the angels will start to attack hell. But of course, I'll be able to prepare some bunkers for my people alongside some of the people in my territory. Unlike the other overlords who practically use the territory for their own advantage, I not only use it for my own advantage, but I also help the people in hell. I practically want to redeem the people of hell so they can practically have their own life in heaven, since I know that extermination day should not always be like this. So I'll just look in the angels who are trying to approach me, with me understanding that they don't want this fight. The angels will of course try to strike me, but because of my mystical body, I'm able to practically phase through the weapons. Of course, it did kind of burn me a little bit. I'll feel an immense heat coming from the weapons, but I was able to grab one of the weapons and stab one of the angels with it, piercing his chest as it cries out in pain with me cutting his head off, keeping it silent. I will of course look in the angel's wing, and eventually I'll try to do something to put the angels at bay if they need to fight me, as I rip the rings of the angels and decide to fuse them with me. With the wings once being covered in feathers, as they're now covered in the purple flames. As I would then rise up with me utilizing these new wings, as it was actually the first time I was able to fly. Of course I can fly using my flames, but using wings is a different story, which I'll most likely be able to pick up really quickly after some time. I eventually would have killed more big amount of angels, with my kill count going up to 20. Of course, I don't be one of the angels who will practically be shocked by me just killing angels with ease. You then of course trying to attack me, but I was able to block the attack using the Holy Spirit I was able to steal. I tell Adam that maybe he should have thought that better. Of trying to exterminate people and how he's now trying to redeem them from heaven. Adam just laughs and asks me if I'm really this big of a shot, but I just glare at Adam as with my golden eyes were piercing his. And of course, will be taken aback by me just glaring at him, not even seemingly being even scared of him. And then will just laugh and tell me that I'm pretty brave. For now, they will leave my territory for now, as Adam and his angels leave. With me just giving a sigh of relief, as I knew that most likely I was not able to take on Adam, since he may be stronger than me, since I was able to tell that he was much stronger than even Alistair. So I should prepare myself for the worst, if I need be. Eventually, I will continue my work and eventually continue to train. Of course, I will still continue with my bartending, and eventually I will hear the story of a girl practically opening a hotel to redeem sinners, which I will practically smile at this news. It seems that someone is also trying the same as me. Huh. Guess I'll try to visit them then. But guys, it's the end for this part. I'll see you guys in the next one. Sayonara.